Welcome back to the Family TIs and Crime Stories, the place for the most captivating tales. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss our latest stories. My name is Zohan. I'm 25, and I work as a software developer at a small tech company just outside the city. One of my closest friends is Dylan. We've known each other since college and have stayed in touch over the years. But today's story isn't about our usual friendship. It's about an unexpected day that changed the way I saw someone very important in his life, his mother, Linda. I had always admired Linda. She had a warmth and energy that made her easy to talk to. And every time I visited Dylan's house, I found myself enjoying our conversations. She had a way of making people feel comfortable. Her laughter was infectious, and she carried herself with a confidence that was undeniably charming. One day, I decided to drop by Dylan's place unannounced, hoping to catch up. I hadn't given him a call beforehand. I wanted to surprise him. When I arrived, however, Dylan wasn't home. Instead, Linda greeted me at the door, surprised but smiling as always. "Well, this is unexpected," she said with a light laugh. "Dylan didn't mention you were coming." I scratched the back of my neck, smiling. "I thought I'd surprise him." She chuckled and stepped aside. "Well, he's not here, but you're welcome to wait for him." Just then, the sky darkened, and within moments, heavy rain started pouring down. It was the kind of downpour that made it impossible to leave without getting drenched. Linda glanced out the window and then back at me. "Looks like you're stuck here for a while," she said, amusement in her voice. I didn't mind at all. She led me to the living room, where we settled in, the sound of raindrops creating a peaceful ambience. She offered me a warm cup of tea, and we started talking about everything: work, life, and of course, Dylan. Our conversation flowed effortlessly, and for the first time, I noticed just how much I enjoyed being around her. Every now and then, our eyes met, lingering a little longer than usual, and there was an unspoken connection between us. Linda had a way of making people feel seen, and in that moment, I felt like I had her full attention. As we spoke, she leaned back in her chair, crossing her legs with an effortless grace. Though she was older, there was something timeless about her energy, her confidence. It all made her presence incredibly captivating. I tried to keep my thoughts in check, but I had a feeling she could sense them. "You seem awfully quiet tonight," she said suddenly, a teasing glint in her eyes. "Something on your mind?" Caught off guard, I chuckled. "I guess I just didn't expect to be here like this, just the two of us." She tilted her head slightly, her gaze warm. "It's nice," she admitted. "Dylan's always busy these days. It's good to have company." Her words were casual, but something about the way she said them made my pulse quicken. We continued talking, and as the evening went on, our conversation grew more personal. She shared stories about her younger days, her dreams, the changes life had brought, and I found myself completely engrossed. It was rare to have such an open, heartfelt discussion, and I felt lucky to be sharing this moment with her. Outside, the storm intensified, showing no signs of stopping. Linda glanced at the clock and then at me. "Well, it looks like the weather isn't clearing up anytime soon," she said. "You might have to stay the night." I nodded, glancing at the rain pounding against the windows. "Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to drive home in this." She smiled warmly. "You can stay in Dylan's room. I'll get you some blankets." She disappeared for a moment and returned with a neatly folded set of blankets, placing them on the couch beside me. As she handed them over, our hands briefly touched, and I felt a warmth spread through me. When I looked up at her, she was already watching me with a gentle expression. "You know," she said softly, "I've always thought you were a kind and thoughtful person. It's been really nice talking tonight, just the two of us." My heart raced at her words. "I feel the same way, Linda." For a moment, neither of us spoke. The air was filled with unspoken emotions, and the rain continued to pour outside, creating a serene atmosphere. Linda's presence was comforting, and as we sat there, I realized just how much this moment meant. Sometimes, connections happen when you least expect them, and that night, in the middle of a storm, I discovered something I never saw coming. The evening continued with more conversation, more laughter, and an understanding that something had shifted between us. Whatever it was something we both felt, And as the rain kept falling, I knew this was a moment I would never forget.